Hey everybody, Lee Smith at Spouses Buying Houses, property management company here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Happy to help you with your rental needs. If you need a property manager, happy to help you out. Every year or 2 years, I go and look at our tools to see if they're the best available. And this time around, I'm looking at comp tools to figure out what comps are for rentals. And several years ago, I had looked at Rentometer. I know a lot of people seem to rave about Rentometer. And so I had looked at it several years ago. I was not impressed, and I don't like their pay model. Um, they charge $96 a year or $16 a month, so $8 a month versus $16 a month. Um, $96 a year. You get 100 pro reports and 100 rental comp downloads. These two reports are interchangeable. So if you run out of 100 pro reports, then you can run the rent comp download, and it's basically the same thing, except the pro report is very pretty and the rent comp download is just a spreadsheet. So obviously the pro reports is a little nicer. Maybe it's worth it to go monthly if you're just looking at an individual property. So you get 10 pro reports, 10 rental comp downloads. But anyways, let me show you. This is when you first log into the system, they give you, you can run free reports, but they're very, 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 very basic. So this is a quick view, they call it. 3608 North Kenwood, that's a subject property. Now this is important. Initially, I did a report, and it was 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 bedroom units, and this quick view was not very good. So I ended up using one of my pro reports to get more specific information, and I can show you that here. So this is 1 to 4 bedrooms. So they show basically within a 0.33 radius. I typically like quarter-mile radius, but they did with 0.33 radius, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedrooms. The average rent $752, $1163, $1,500, $1,743. We get the pretty map feature. We zone down, and they'll give you basically 5 comps in each one of those ranges. And while I don't know if this is historical data or not, because some of this stuff is still actively for rent. This is actively for rent. This is a duplex. Next door neighbor 3624 is still available. This is a duplex, and the next door neighbor 3418 North Capitol is available. These two no longer show up on the reports, so I don't know if they were rented or not rented. Does not seem to, like I said, that one is actively listed, but it doesn't show our subject property, which is also actively listed, right? Okay, so I'm missing some data. So I thought, okay, well then I'll do the download comps, right? So they show the rent comp download. So the rent comp download is a spreadsheet. Instead of 5 listings, I got 9 listings. I do see our subject property here, but basically there's some new ones in here, and they are actively listed. So really, I'm only seeing a couple that may or may not be historical data, and I don't know if they're historical data or not. So your mileage may vary, is that what I want to say? But I'm only showing 9 here. Now let's look at the MLS. The MLS, this is a CMA, comparative market analysis. We sell these for $5 per property. It basically gives you active, pending, and solds within the last year, within a quarter-mile radius, and we do leases over the last 6 months. So these are all of the active listings. So here is an active listing, 3458 North Kenwood. What do we not see on our download report? 3458 North Kenwood is not showing up on this report from Rentometer. What do we see on hot pads? Kenwood, a little north, 34 Oh no, that's Kenwood. Capital. 3458 North Kenwood. So we're showing it on hot pads, but we're not seeing it on Rentometer. So we're not seeing it here. We're not seeing it on their comps report. So we're not getting all the data that we need from Rentometer. Now, I decided to run a pro report on the address and narrow it down to 3 bedrooms. And a lot of this is pretty stuff. This is the pro report. This is pretty stuff. So historical trend lines, average rent by bedroom types. I don't think this stuff is very useful. Sample min 1250, sample max 1750. Here's your pretty map view. And then here's the same 8 comps that we had on this spreadsheet. Again, we're missing that one, whatever it was, 3548 North Kenwood. It's not showing up on here. So we don't know whether this is, I mean, it's not fully, you're not getting good info here. This one's actively listed, so it's not like they're just giving historical data. And then this one's sister, 3624 North Capitol, is available, but they're not showing it. So, but it is lower in price. 3624 is listed at 1400, not 1500. So I don't know if you're getting good data or not, is what my end result is. If I look in the MLS, I mean, we see some actives. Now, I'll caution you and say most of the time what I'm seeing, and the reason I even did this little research project was because most of the time I'm seeing between 1 to 5 rentals in the MLS that show up, and it may be a mix of actives and leased. So, but like our subject property, you know, they're not showing any 3 bedrooms listed for lease, or I'm sorry, leased. Are they showing any 3 bedrooms? Yes. So here's a 3 bedroom that's actively listed for rent. Here's another active 3 bedroom listed for rent. So there is some showing up in here, but again, they're not showing up on the Rentometer stuff. So I guess the end result is Rentometer worth the money? I don't think so. I think that they've got flawed data. I don't trust their data. Is that what I want to say? I don't know if it's necessarily flawed. I just don't trust it. And so for me, and when I'm going to spend what? As a professional, I would spend $8 a month, $96 a year. I just don't think it's worth it. And for you as an owner, is it worth $16? I don't know. I don't think so. You're not getting all the data that you need. So I guess that's my review of Rentometer, and I'm going to stick with hot pads for active listings and MLS for whatever historical data I can get. Anyways, hope it helps.